And so it's now been recorded. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Sandy Wysocki. I'm from the Milwaukee Business Journal, and we're going to do a walkthrough of your portal that is a summary of the business information and just a word of explanation. So the Milwaukee Business Journal is one of a chain of 43 business journals that are published throughout the country in all the major cities. We are headquartered in Charlotte, but each city presents their own local business information. So our focus is business information. We don't do fires, we don't do crime, we don't do sports. We only do those topics if they relate to business. Business is defined as a small business up to large multinational companies, and our focus is on breaking news. So that's kind of the context of what we're going to be to what our subscribers get, because all of our content locally, or the majority of our content, is paid content. There's daily email updates that go out that have some free content, but more and more of our content is being locked down to available only to subscribers. What makes this unique for a couple of things: one is you have a certain number of seats. That means that any certain number of people can access this. It's not being tied to a specific person or a computer. So, for example, a couple days ago, anybody in the URL from the UW system would have access to this information. So, like, I get calls often, besides your group, the Chancellor's office at UW Milwaukee a couple days ago has accessed this link, and so we sent the link over to Moen's office. We've had students, I teach a class at UW Whitewater on business writing, or I speak at theirs, and they access it. So anybody in the entire state that has accessed this, it's for everybody. So, but we need specialists like you that know this, so you can help, because it's very, very good for students and for anyone looking for jobs. It's also very good because the information it is all up to date. So that's the thing difference from just going to someone's website. So this is the home screen that you have on your link. We're going to walk through it today, and then I can take questions if you want it while we're doing it. I don't know how much time you have. I was thinking about 30 minutes here. So the first thing is, of course, read the current edition. So in order to reach, you are very unique, and you're grandfathered in actually to receive all the cities, because here, what this will show you, if everyone can see my screen, is you have access to all of these cities. And what anybody that buys this now actually pays what you pay for each market. You have been with us, you've been in this program from the beginning, so you're grandfathered in to get all 40 cities. Very few people have all 40. But so the first thing is, like, let's just look at a city. So let's just say we want to look at the Boston, and if we do this, this will take us to Boston market, where we have here that says view the current issue. That will bring up a PDF of the current issue. So I'm going to do that right now. And so if I click down here, it'll bring up the current issue. It takes a couple seconds to load, and this will take us to the current issue of the Boston Business Journal. And you can just read it and so forth. And it's just easily read, and you can look at that. So some people just like to see what's going on in a current city. If you click over on the right that says past digital editions, this again is still operating under Boston. If you click here where it says book a list, it brings it up on the book a list. So it takes a little while to load, because those of you who are familiar with the book a list knows it's about usually close to 200 pages. This is 152 pages. So this is the digital version of the book of lists, and so the way you manipulate is just with those arrows at the top. That just takes us through the book logically, and then if you wanted to read, sometimes we're still getting some of the covers here, but if we go to content and we want to read it, there's just these two hourglasses that zoom in and zoom out. And I'm sure most of you have accessed online versions before using this, as well as these left and right arrows, left and up and down, to manipulate through the page. Now, while we're on this page, I'm going to just show you, this is kind of one of those things we have to want everybody to pay attention here. Over on the left, you see this archive. So this, we're still in Boston, but if you hit archive here, you can see now we have, this is the issues for 2016. This is all of the archived issues. And yet, well, it takes us down to 2009. And this is a new, actually this is new, this particular, because before you would open it up and it would just show you all of the issues, and it took a little while to download. So now it looks like you can choose your archives for any year that you want. Now, while those, so that's just shows you, and each one of those you can open and review them. Now there's a search function up here. Again, we're going to close out of this. Let me just get back here. Just, let's see. I don't want to close. Well, wait, I don't want to do that. Okay, so here we are. We're back in the book of lists. I have the part of the program screen here missing some of the little controls here. There's a search function right up here. There's several on this system, but here's one of them. Now, we're still in Boston. We're going to go back in a minute, but whenever you have a digital edition open like we have here, you can do a search, and this is where in this drop-down box you can choose, of course, the parameters. I know many of you have done searches before, so I don't want to, you know, you just set like where you want to do, the dates you want to set, and how you want it done, and then you just put in up here, you can type in what, if there's a company or something you want, you would type it here and just go. So, well, I don't know. I'm just going to put Boston Scientific. I don't know we're still in Boston, and I don't know their market very well, but I do know Boston Scientific. So let's just see what that says. Okay, so Boston Scientific appears in the book of lists on these pages. Okay, so that's just, we're going to go back out of the Boston one. So now we're going to we were in Boston. Any of that manipulation you could do for any of the cities. So if you wanted to look at Columbus, you just look at the current issue or the past digital issues. So that's how you can access all the other pages. It's just a couple of clicks. Okay? So we're going to move on. We're going to go back to Milwaukee just because I know that the best. But all this, so up here on the right where your logo is that is just a tab that shows you any, this is just a search for anything involving University of Wisconsin system. So news is really, that filters out some of the other stuff that you, and it's just filtering out anything that has to do with any news involving Wisconsin or the University of Wisconsin system. So that just talks about, and some of it's university, but so here you go, various things. So that's just another search capability. Some of our company clients have that where if anytime their company is mentioned. Okay, here is another search capability that is unique to this portal that is not on our website, and none of our other paid subscribers have it. This capability that we're going to talk about right now is very unique because it's the only place that you can search through all the publications. So let's just say we have a person that is either doing research on a company or they want to look for a job someplace or just want to know about, I'm going to use Wells Fargo because I know they're in multiple states and I have done various things. But so now we're going to search on Wells Fargo through all 43 of the Business Journal publications. And so I always just hit news because all just has sometimes stuff. And so what we're seeing here through the Milwaukee desktop or through your desktop here is we see our first item is from the Philadelphia Business Journal. Our third item is from Tampa, Albuquerque, Orlando, and Charlotte, and Triad, and Minneapolis, and Phoenix. That is very unique. So you can find out what's happening on a national basis with information beyond just Wisconsin. And that is, and so that's all available from this cover page through this search across all our publications. So it's just you type in what you have, and then you can look at the material. Okay, now the next thing we have, this resource tab has some direct links to certain things included, business records and court records, and a lot of people care about that. We have a lot of law firms that have this capability and care about that. But I'm just going to show you another shortcut. So this is really a shortcut. Up here on the News tab for Milwaukee, for example, there's a Subscriber Only tab. So all we did is we just hit News at the top and Subscriber Only, and that just gives us a couple. This is what our subscribers would see, and here's like a digital edition tab, the PDF download, the Book of Lists, People on the Move. So that's another just sort of quick way to get at our paper. As I mentioned, the digital edition has the archives. The PDF is downloadable and printable and that type of thing. There's another tab for the Book of Lists. There's several on here. So that's, again, taking us back through, that was just going through this News tab, Subscriber Only. So, in fact, we're going to just a couple of things that may or may not have relevance to you. Some of our companies like that. If people are looking, People on the Move is the item, of course, where we list people that have been promoted or on boards. And I'm thinking about this when I go to career centers and talk to job seekers. I do that a lot. And so People on the Move, actually it's a function now that used to be we'd get press releases from people and they would send them into our newsroom. Now most of this material is self-submitted through our website, and there's capabilities for people to add their photos and so forth. But there's a place here, again, here's the people, and so it says download, and so there's actually a function where you can download the People on the Move database, and you may or may not care about that, but so I'm going to open that here. It's in an Excel file. So these are all people that have appeared in our paper. This is Milwaukee at the moment. I mean, and these are either new hires, promotions, or people that have been named to boards. And so it just helps you see who's been hired. Whoops, who's been hired, what their titles are, and people, a lot of our companies like this material because it's like leads, and some of our nonprofits look at these people to see who's hiring. Again, so this may or may not have any relevance to you, but it's kind of good to know it's there. If we go down, this actually goes down, and we actually have like 5,000 names here. I won't go. It's like from the last several years, so I won't take time now to go through it. But there's a long list, and so you can sort this, and it's all on an Excel spreadsheet, so you can see from a career standpoint, or people that care about careers or hiring, who's been hiring over the past several years. Plus, since most of this material is self-submitted, it's kind of like a LinkedIn profile. We have every reason to believe it's correct because the people themselves submit it. The only thing is we don't have emails for these. We have phone numbers, but not emails. We have a corporate company policy against distributing emails because we do like our daily email updates and newsletters, and the national search like AOL and other national browsers let our emails through because we have a very tight email process. So we don't, so that's kind of how that works. Okay, so we're going to get out of this. We're again back to our portal, the cover of our portal. This is where we are. I'm going to get back here. So you can see we're still back on our home page here. So we've talked about so far the other cities, the direct link of UW system, our national search, some of the resources. We've looked at People on the Move. Here's actually down here, there's two more. If you happen to be manipulating through the screen at the bottom, here's another link to the weekly edition as well as accessing the Book of Lists. Okay, now we're going to move to the center of the site, and this one is actually a live material. So this is material that's continually being posted on the website by the Milwaukee Business Journal. It also is another search feature. So I've mentioned we have several search features. This one is also very, very powerful. Again, you are one of few that have access to all of our markets. So you can set up parameters for a search. So I'm just going to, I don't know, I can do, I'll just say we're going to search, well, let's just talk Silicon Valley. We'll just do that for fun. And so we're gonna have Silicon Valley, and then we're going to search. Let's just say we're going to search energy stories. So or stories on. So you can pick the publication you want as well as the industry you want, and you can actually have multiple. So we're going to do that search. And so what we've got here, it should tell us. So we're coming down here. And it's got that we have the two screens. So you can see here our filters are San Jose, the Silicon Valley, and energy. And so what we have then is stories in this industry in this area. And you can put multiple ones in there. I mean, there's several, and I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of creativity that you can do to find things that are relevant. Again, most of this material is very relevant. A lot of it does not make a company website, and most of it's only available to subscribers. So again, very, very powerful. All these stories have been since January, and most, as I said, are focused on San Jose. And you can, so if you, and here's where you can clear the filters and just go back, and you can set up something else. So you know, we're not a data company, we're a newspaper, and so our focus is on content and information. This portal is just allowing people to search this material and make it available and usable. As I said, our companies use it. Some of them track companies they deal with, customers. Some of them track their competitors. We have job seekers that use it in particular to look at what's in the news about a company that they're searching for. So, but it's designed to be fairly simple. And so again, just summarizing, up here is the multiple markets, and you just click on the market and it'll come up. And then, you know, there's, as I said, the national search is really one of the keys, as well as these searches, the search by industry in the center here. So that is kind of the walkthrough. I'm happy. I don't know how we do. I guess we can do questions. We're all. I don't think we've been on mute here. If there's questions, I'm happy to answer them. If anyone has them, I'm happy to try to answer them. I'm not a technician, but I work with this data quite often.
Hi, my name is Jen Holman. I'm from La Crosse. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Thank you. This was really, really helpful. One of the things I'm concerned about, though, is the way our students use resources. I think frequently they're going to be searching in different databases and want to link in to specific articles. And I understand that's not, they're not going to be able to do that, but we can't, at this point, we can't even get them into the title level. Okay. And I mean, I thought we only had 39. It looks like now there are 43 of these, but there's no way to link to specific titles. In your old system, the way your URLs were structured, we could come up with a static URL to each title. Is there a way to do that in this new system?
I can check. I don't think so. I mean, I can check. I think this is what we have.
Okay, and the dates for all 43 of these are from, we have content from 2009 to the present, is that correct?
Well, now the 43, New York, Chicago, and LA don't have print, they're just digital. So that's why there was 3 added, because we have digital content from Chicago, but we do not have a print. So that back to 2009, Chicago didn't exist.
Okay.
Chicago, New York, and LA are digital only products, so they just have web content. They did not have a print product that that all the other markets had.
So what are the dates for those, for Chicago,
well,
New York,
look,
and LA?
I don't
or does it
actually
differ?
know. Let's see here. These are the print. Let's just see. Well, these are the print ones. Let's see, maybe Chicago doesn't have. They probably, okay, Chicago is just print. So that's probably, that material is print appearing in the online searches, but that wouldn't appear here because there's no print. These are just the print ones.
Okay. Okay.
Other questions? You know, I know it's different from what you had. I think they tried to enhance the search capabilities and tried to make it easier, but I can see where it's difficult. It's changed, and I know we don't integrate with other databases. This content's all copyrighted and paid, so it's separate. Most of the information that if you do searches online, most of it will come up, and you'll be able to read the first paragraph, but it will be restricted. When there's Google searches, most of the paid content, not all of it, but most of the paid content will be restricted for the full article and lets you access through the portal, this portal. Because more and more of the content is being locked down to, as I said, I mentioned we have morning and afternoon email updates, and most of the content is now being restricted just to subscribers because they pay for it, and as you have done with this. And so they are restricting access to people who have paid for it more and more.
Sandy, this is Natalie Bell. If a campus has either a business school or business class, whatever the situation may be, and like they're not on this phone call or decide that they need more training, is that something that they should like follow up with you directly on, or what would you recommend for that?
Sure, I have gone to some, and you know, I'm actually happy to do that. I'm happy to go around. I feel like I'm on a rotating, constantly on the bus here, but I'm happy to do that, or over the phone, or whatever. Our goal is to help people use it, and whether it happens to be a company, a nonprofit, a job seeker group, a student group, I mean, you have the system, and our goal is to, and I'm happy to do that. I've been to some of them before, but not all of them. I've done more locally, but I know in the past I've been to Whitewater, I believe, and I've been to campus in Madison, but not recently, and so I get calls. I've mostly been up to UWM, and I do some. I've done some other schools around. I go down to Chicago. Booth has this. The University of Chicago Booth School of Business has it. So I go down there and see them on occasion. And Northwestern has it. I go down and see them. So I'm happy to do that. I've had experience doing that. Again, just contact me, and I'm happy to make an arrangement either to try to do something in person or do something over the phone. I'm happy to do that.
Do you have any kind of any training materials, like webinars that you've already done that are kind of your standard, that aren't tailored to a specific campus, business, that sort of thing, that we could in the meantime refer them to that may help, or is that not available?
Well, I guess I can. I haven't done it. It's hard to show it, but I have like, I mean, I have like a sort of a guideline where I have like 8 things to look at, but I'm not sure. It's really hard to sort of take people through all the clicks. I'm happy to try to figure that out. I just don't know. It's somewhat intuitive, but I think it's hard to communicate without it in person. Even if it's a 5-minute walkthrough or a 10-minute walkthrough, I think it's difficult to just do it from paper. I mean, there's just so many different choices to do searches. I think it's hard to show. I mean, if you think a paper one would help, I just don't know if you really get the value of seeing the type of searches that we are looked at today. I mean, like somebody will say, well, tell me about Johnson Controls, and then we just see Johnson Controls, and they're mostly here, but let's just see what else is being said about them. Now they've got a lot of news, of course. I mean, that's big news here. That's big news here for a lot of people. And so, we can just look and see what's being done and said about Johnson Controls or anything else that comes up. I mean, there's a lot of news in our city. Right now, our web traffic is higher than it's ever been because there's just, in the state and in the area, there's just a lot of business news with all the building being done in downtown Milwaukee, the arena, and all of the politics supporting whether you agree or disagree on the arena type of thing. I mean, there's just a lot of discussion about the development, and I mean, most of our coverage is in southeastern Wisconsin, but anytime there's news out of Brown County or Dane County, I mean, we pretty much include that. I mean, we don't include everything, but on our lists, I think most of you know that on our book of lists, many of our lists are statewide lists. Like our top public companies is a statewide list, not just southeastern Wisconsin. Our state, Wisconsin women-owned firms and things like that, many of our lists are statewide. But all you have to do is ask. I don't know if everyone has my phone or email. Natalie, have you communicated that?
What I'll do is, if like we kind of talked about earlier, if we could get the recorded session, and then what I plan on doing is, if you're fine with this, I'll just put your contact information in the body of that email, so then if somebody wants to follow up directly, they have that.
Absolutely, and I do that all the time. I mean, I'm going to Ergens. Ergens is a developer in town. They're a major developer. I'm going to go see them in the morning, or Friday morning, and I see the bank earlier this week, and I mean, this isn't the only thing I do. I help out. There's a few other responsibilities I have to get the paper out, but this is a big part, so I can certainly accommodate that. I'm well aware. I've been all over the state. I had one graduate, a very successful graduate from the University of Wisconsin-Madison that now unfortunately works in the Silicon Valley, but had very good Wisconsin education. I had unfortunately, two golden gophers, but I'm a big, I spent many trips coming from Milwaukee through the state up to the Twin Cities. So I'm not opposed to traveling.
And you said as an option too, like something like a webinar could be done if it just works out better for them or whatever the situation
Absolutely.
is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I mean, the best thing to do is just to take a few things that we talked about today and just try some searches, because that's like anything. The more you use it, you'll figure it out. But I just think it's pretty intuitive. If you just select on it and try a couple of searches, I think you'll find that this middle area that we showed earlier with all the filters, that's really a powerful. If someone's got a specific topic they're researching and wants up, because the difference is this is pretty up-to-date data. Most of this material that comes up is from, it starts with what's been posted today. And understand that our newsrooms across the country are posting 24/7. We are no longer, at one point, years back, we were considered a print first operation where we would have a major story and we would kind of hide it and hold it until our Friday print edition. And now we are by all means a digital first. So we continually post everything as we get it. And so that, and then the print edition is a supplement to that. So for example, in downtown Milwaukee, there's something called the Grand Avenue, which is a mall that has been under ownership continually and hasn't been successful. And recently there was a breaking news story about how we had 3 new owners, and so we broke the story about how it was bought. In the print edition, we actually had interviews with those people talking about how they came to the decision to purchase it and what their plans were for the future. So, I mean, you really need the quick headline as well as the print embellishment of the topic to really gain an understanding of what the business scene is all about. So it's really the two complement each other.
Hi, this is Terry from Stevens Point. I have a question. Are there any changes needed to, we want to be able to access this the information from off-campus through all these various scenarios. Are there any changes that need to be made to a proxy stanza with the changes?
Well, we have, if they can access the portal, they can access it anywhere through their, from the system portal, or they can use a username and password. And Natalie, do we have a username and password for you, right? Or not?
I assume there is. I mean, we don't really mess around with usernames and passwords just because there's so many campuses, and it's just
right.
more of a pain to deal with.
Anyone can access this if they're using it in the IP. The system they're on is in the IP range of the portal.
This is why we use the proxy, so that if someone is off campus, they're connecting through a campus computer. So it looks like they are on campus even when they're at home. So we have
if the IP range, yep, then that shouldn't be a problem. If the IP range that you've given me, it's set up so that the IP range for the entire campus is included. If the range expands or there's additional people, you just need to tell me what that is, and we'll expand the range. It's been set up on the range that has been given to me, so anyone within the IP range would be able to access it.
Yes, I understand that, but there's still additional. Occasionally, there's different settings that need to be set up on our end of the system, on our proxy server, which is the thing that works through, so that so that our campus system can talk to yours. Sometimes there's a little bit different setup that needs to happen. So that's the question I'm asking.
It's especially true if you have a mobile interface. Sometimes there's a special setting that needs to be, or a stanza that needs to be put in, or if the base URL changes as you move around the site. But if the base URL stays the same, then usually, as long as that didn't happen, typically we're okay. But if the base URL changes, then it fails.
Okay, if you have that situation, if you email me and tell me what it is, I will have someone in Charlotte. It's on a case-by-case basis. We're happy to do that. There's someone in Charlotte that can address that. It just would be on a case-by-case basis, but certainly they're happy to do that. I mean, they do that for all the material around the country. There are hundreds of people who have this service, so there's some people dedicated that are servicing all the markets. So whatever we have, it's probably been run into by someone before. But just let me know, and we'll work with you to make that happen. I don't know from the woman from La Crosse about I think this is the only way they're doing it as far as accessing the different cities. God bless you. But if you have other things, let me know, and we'll work with Charlotte to get you your answer or to get that access to you.
Well, maybe, Natalie, we could send them an example of what someone has, and then they could look at it.
Yep, do that. That's the easiest way, is to show them something, and then they can look at it. That'd be great. Happy to do that. Anything else?
Sandy, is there anywhere, or do we work through you if the group feels that they want enhancements to any of this, or how does that work, or is there like a
just tell me
service?
You can tell me the portion on the right, this portion on the right, the screen on the right where that says resources and people on the move and events. I mean, that's all customizable. Some actually people take and add. They take out events and nominations, and they have keywords, or if you wanted to put the names of individual campuses as links to any time, those enhancements can be made. I just need someone to tell me that. So anything on the right side under the resources box, the people on the move, all that stuff, you don't even need that box. You can take that whole box out. I mean, I probably would if you wanted to. If you wanted to put your individual campuses as links for stories about those campuses, or if you had key industries or words that you want additional links, we can make those on the right side. Someone just has to tell me that, and then they'll switch it.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
I appreciate everyone's attention, and again, our goal is just to help you use it. And we, as I said, we're not a data company. We're a newspaper with great data and great information that I think continues to grow and be more relevant as things are changing so rapidly. And so I think the material that we have access to, it's remarkable how much data you have available with 40 markets and 5 years of archives and the search features. There's really a lot here, and I think that I appreciate your time on the call because our goal is to help your folks be able to use it. Okay, so thank you, everybody, and I'm going to hit the stop on recording, okay, Natalie, and then I'll figure out how to get it to you. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.